This is the NBC Television Network. In this winter's tale, it's January that turns out to be the cruelest month. They leave Nebraska's frosted cornfields, always imposing, always highly ranked, but destined, it has seemed, for disappointment. He has these winters in his blood, the native son who never left, who in another time was twice the state's athlete of the year, a marvel who competed for his small hometown college. Tom Osborne, 22 seasons, 218 victories, 11 conference titles, but still bearing with serene dignity the January memories. Memories of hot, humid nights in Miami, when it was all or nothing, in a stadium a long, long way from home. In 1984, there was honor in defeat. 10 years later, redemption was just one play away.
45 yards to give Cinderella, Nebraska the national championship. And he hooked it left. Florida State wins.
And though decades of success have been somehow diminished by a series of New Year's failings, the resolve remains. And now, even beyond the heartland, you sense he is, for most, the sentimental choice.
I don't think there's any room for compassion. I mean, we're playing a football game, and if he wasn't playing us for the national championship, I'd root for him.
To Tom Osborne, this is a familiar face of January, the face of another fierce Miami team, at home in the Orange Bowl, and prepared to deny the Cornhuskers a national title. Or is this finally the night when Nebraska's proud native son brings to an end his long New Year's nightmare? Winter's night, you might call it hurricane weather. Tonight, in their home stadium, the Orange Bowl, where they have won 62 of their last 63 games, the number 3 Miami Hurricanes beat number 1 and undefeated Nebraska, seeking to become college football's national champions. It's another sellout of 78,000 for this 61st Orange Bowl game, and although the Nebraska Cornhuskers may have one of their finest teams ever, and though you'll see plenty of Nebraska supporters clad in red tonight, this is still their formidable task. To win here, in this Miami sound machine, where the Hurricanes have lost only once since 1985, and but for a single bad quarter against Washington back in September, the Hurricanes would themselves be undefeated and poised to win their 5th national title in 12 seasons. As it is, Miami does have a slim chance to win the title, but the Canes must beat the Cornhuskers tonight and hope that somehow number 2 Penn State loses to Oregon in tomorrow's Rose Bowl. Only Nebraska can get by without any help. If they win tonight, they're the champs, no matter what happens anywhere else. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Costas. Happy New Year to you. These are the trophies signifying an Orange Bowl victory and the national title, both at stake tonight. Nebraska is seeking its first national title since the Johnny Rodgers team of 1971, and the first in Tom Osborne's 22-year tenure, an otherwise magnificent tenure diminished by New Year's Day and night setbacks. Osborne's teams have now lost 7 straight bowl games, including the last 3 Orange Bowls, and tonight the opponent is Miami at home. Miami 3-0 against Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. To get it done, Nebraska's Osborne has reinstalled Tommy Frazier as his starting quarterback. The option specialist began the year as a Heisman candidate, but he hasn't played since September 24th, stricken with blood clots in his right leg. The decision to start Frazier over Brooke Berringer, who played well in Frazier's absence, has already been second-guessed. But Tom Osborne has long since become accustomed to the scrutiny and criticism that comes with the territory. 22 seasons of excellence, icon status in his home state, yet he has never made himself larger than his team. Guarded, stoic, we probably know Tom Osborne best, not from his words, but from a moment, a defining moment, the 1984 Orange Bowl.
Look at this play, Jeff Smith. Touchdown, Nebraska!
Choosing victory over a tie, attempting a two-point conversion. His boldness cost him the national title. And now, perhaps another defining moment. This week, choosing Tommy Frazier as his starting quarterback.
Find any irony in the fact that it's easy to label you as conservative, but you're the guy who went for two when a tie assured you of the national championship. You're the guy who's rolling the dice now with Frazier.
Well, I don't know, Bob. I don't really think in terms of image and those kind of things. I just think in terms of what I feel needs to be done. And nobody wants to focus on who's playing tackle or who's playing safety. And those spots are every bit as critical as quarterback. I'm very comfortable with our quarterbacks. They're going to play okay. I'm a little bit more worried about some other spots.
You know what the long-standing observations or criticisms are. Schedule's not tough enough outside of Oklahoma and in recent years Colorado. Philosophy's too conservative. Run the ball between the tackles, win the Big 8 title, run up against competition you can't handle on New Year's Day. Has any of that been fair?
Oh, I'm sure whatever's fair, whatever people say. I don't care what they say. And all I know is that we've got a certain climate to play in. We have a certain schedule that's usually set 6, 7, 8 years in advance. And we think that in our climactic situation, you've got to be prepared to handle 2 or 3 bad weather days. On the other hand, maybe Miami, if they had to play January 1st in Lincoln or in Omaha, might find that their style wouldn't fit quite as well either.
Here's a quote from a week or so ago in the New York Times. No one ever predicts a derailing loss, but many wonder if it is their destiny. You're a practical man, but have you ever wondered if that's your destiny?
Well, I really have never thought that way. We lost Oklahoma the first 5 or 6 times that I think that I was a head coach and played him. But I didn't feel like we were always going to lose to Oklahoma. We just tried to work harder and get better. And we lost pretty badly to Florida State a couple times and Miami a couple times. And we worked hard and we got better. And I think last year we played well enough to win.
I asked Bobby Bowden this a year ago, and he tried to put it in perspective. He said the world wouldn't end, but when I asked him, would your resume be incomplete if you never got a national championship? He said yes. How about you?
Well, I don't think so. I think in the eyes of a lot of people, that would be the case. But I really don't tend to measure success or whatever I've accomplished or haven't accomplished in football so much in wins and losses. I think when you die, they always say, well, he won so many, he lost so many, he won so many national championships, or he didn't. And yet I think that's kind of a hollow way to look at it.
Do you feel a kinship at all with guys like Marv Levy, Bud Grant? Great coaches. Grant's in the Hall of Fame. Levy's probably going there. Did everything but win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Similar position to, at least at this moment, where you are.
Well, I don't know if I feel a kinship, Bob, but I never cease to be amazed at the mentality that the Minnesota Vikings were losers or that the Buffalo Bills are losers. It's kind of an interesting commentary on our society. It's kind of like if you're not number one, you're nothing. I mean, to win 12 games, to go through what our players have gone through this year, I admire them greatly. I don't necessarily admire me as a coach. I admire what the players have done in terms of their commitment, their devotion, and their determination to get back down here and to try it again.
In our interview, Osborne also said he supported some form of college football playoff. The present Bowl Coalition and upcoming Bowl Alliance have improved the chances of crowning a true national champ, but they are at best imperfect. This year's top teams being a perfect example, as both Nebraska and Penn State could wind up undefeated and yet never meet on the field. Said Osborne, we've gotten so conscious of payoffs and money, we've almost sold our souls. There should be some way to get it done. Coming up. High drama at the FedEx Orange Bowl. Nebraska has done nothing its last 5 possessions. The costly one, the interception in the end zone, when they had first and goal at the 4.
First and 10.
And the Cornhuskers trailing by 8 need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And with 8:11 left, a tie could be as costly as a loss if Penn State wins tomorrow for national championship voting. Lawrence Phillips breaking tackles to the 20 with a cutback to the 15-yard line. Gain of 25 before he's chased down by Davis and Francis.
That's one of the few times we've seen the Cornhuskers run the option and pitch the football. Tommy Frazier has been running it. That time Rohan Marley overran the play, tried to come back and make an arm tackle, could not. And now you're getting a little bit of a taste of what Tommy Frazier can do. The guy that started as a freshman for the Cornhuskers, Tom Osborne, said he does not feel pressure.
And Phillips up to 90 yards rushing. Schlesinger. Touchdown. Cornhuskers will go for 2. They trail 17-15. Full house backfield. Frazier will throw. It's good. 2-point conversion. Eric Alford made the catch. Game tied at 17.
And redemption for Tommy Frazier.
And a smile for Brooke Berringer.
And hope for Tom Osborne. They have been forgetting about Schlesinger throughout the game. They were playing the option. And then Tommy Frazier. He can't throw. He can't throw. It's tied.
And a spring suddenly back in the step of Coach Tom Osborne. The body English didn't work.
And we're sorry we can't give you Joe Paterno's reaction.
10 years ago in the 50th Orange Bowl Classic, Nebraska trailed Miami 31-30 after scoring a touchdown with 48 seconds left to play. Tom Osborne went for the win. 2-point conversion knocked away by Miami, and the Canes came away with their first national championship.
Good boy, here we go.
In the long history of the Orange Bowl, there has never been a tie.
And you notice how young Tom Osborne looked in that initial shot. A few of those wrinkles created by those lost opportunities in the Orange Bowl.
And we repeat, a tie could cost Nebraska the title if Penn State wins tomorrow in the Rose Bowl. Erstad's kick reaches the end zone.
Tom, you just have to appreciate the effort of these players out here tonight. I mean, these are just two great football teams, and you saw at that time Lawrence Phillips giving it everything he had. He was stopped in the backfield. He fought his way back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it is now just the time to suck it up and play for 6 minutes and try and win a national championship.
Frazier. Catch made. Good catch by Reggie Ball, who went downstairs and caught it right off the grass. His first reception of the night.
Reggie Ball, another one of those walk-ons. People want to come to Nebraska. They want to play for Tom Osborne. And boy, would they love to win a national championship for that man tonight.
5:15 left. 17-17. Huskers facing a 3rd and 3.
And I don't think this is 4-down territory. Not yet.
Option. Frazier keeps. Cuts up. He's got the first down. He's got more than that. He's spun down at the 28-yard line. C.J. Richardson caught Frazier from behind, but it went for 25 yards.
There's the Tommy Frazier we saw at the beginning of the season. Running the option. The last time he pitched it, this time he fakes it. Watch the running ability. You have to be happy for the young man. He's fighting his way back from that blood clot. Just a horrible season for him. He wanted to come back, get a medical red shirt. They wouldn't let him. This is it. This is his opportunity.
And he's from Bradenton, Florida. How sweet would that be? Barrier managing to smile. He did a good job when he was in there for the most part. Phillips spinning to the 20-yard line. That's a pretty good gain. That's about 6 or 7 yards covered by C.J. Richardson, and the big hogs up front starting to wear down the defense of Miami.
And Miami does not substitute much on that defensive line.
Gain of 7.
Look at Schlesinger come in there. He's made some big runs and some huge blocks.
Let's go to John Dockery.
You know, Chris, you hit the nail on the head. I watched the Miami defensive line in the before they got back on the field. They've been on the field the whole 4th quarter. They were exhausted because of lack of substitution. Of course, Pat Riley, their great defensive tackle, is out of this game, and they haven't been able to substitute. They're exhausted.
Frazier hands to Phillips. Can't get a block. Ridden down at the 20, no gain. Ray Lewis made the play once again. Lewis on the tackle.
And Tom, they're right at the range now where they have to make a decision about their field goal kicker. Tom Sealer is the short kicker. He is going to kick anything 40 yards or shorter. So right now, Tom Sealer is the man. He gets the ball up very quickly. Did not have a particularly good pregame warm-up. I watched him kick. He was missing a lot of kicks in the pregame.
Erstad is the long field goal kicker. But it's 3rd and 3, and Osborne would like to convert here and not have to worry about a kick. And Frazier takes a timeout. That's the first by Nebraska in this second half. This game has been as advertised. It began with a 44-yard, seasons-long for Pruitt to put Miami up 3-0. Then it was 10-0 Miami as Costa hit Trent Jones with a 35-yard TD pass, capping a 97-yard drive. Second quarter, first Nebraska score engineered by Brooke Barringer, who hit Mark Gilman with a 19-yard TD pass. In the third quarter, Costa 44 yards to Jonathan Harris to put the Canes back up by 10. Then, Dwayne Harris sacking Costa in the end zone for a safety to make it 17-9. And then Corey Schlesinger, the 15-yard ramble, and the 2-point conversion tied it at 17.
And Tom, don't forget, because of some of the earlier mistakes by that Miami offense, Miami only has 1 timeout left. So when you look at this Miami defense, they have to make a play now. Wow, look at that.
The Nebraska defense has done the job here in the fourth quarter, holding the quick strike Miami offense to minus yardage.
And Nebraska really has been their worst enemy in this ball game. Their 2 longest drives of 49 and 64 yards, both ended in turnovers, and then of course the interception by Barringer when they got the ball on the 4-yard line. Here they are with yet another opportunity.
Covered him at the 14, but Osborne still has what could be a national championship drive percolating.
And how about Tom Osborne? He is shown the courage to not only start Tommy Frazier, but then to bring in Behringer, give his team a lift, and then when it seemed very natural to let Behringer continue to play, made another gutsy call, brought Frazier back in, and now he has this Cornhusker offense on the move.
Less than 3 minutes remaining. Nebraska already in field goal range. Schlesinger has another touchdown. Schlesinger broke free and took it in for the score.
Smile, Tom.
Point. He got it. The Nebraska team has owned the fourth quarter. Corey Schlesinger has scored twice in this quarter, and Erickson's offense has been in reverse. Fatigue perhaps playing a part here on the Miami defense as Schlesinger rambles in for his second touchdown in this period.
Hitter right up the middle. Frazier's such a threat. They make it a trap block on it. Good blocking down the field by Muhammad. And Schlesinger is the unsung hero of this game. Not only with his blocking, but every time they've needed a big first down, when they needed a big play, Schlesinger has come up with it, and he was not going to be held out of that end zone.
The senior from Duncan, Nebraska, has given the Huskers their first lead of the game. And what about the blocking for Nebraska? They had people flat on their backs, the big offensive line, and even the wide receivers getting in on the act that time. And the pounding by the big guys up front taking its toll on Miami in this fourth quarter.
And we go all the way back to what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Zach Wiegert, the Outland Trophy winner, made a simple statement. He said, we want to go one-on-one, man-to-man against these guys for 4 quarters and just find out who really is the better man.
2 minutes and 46 seconds separate Tom Osborne from his first national championship. And don't kid yourself for a moment. These Nebraska players would love to be the class that gives it to him.
But this Miami offense still has something to say. We've seen the big plays all night, and that's why Tom Osborne hasn't broken into a smile yet.
Erstad's kick, taking a yard deep. Shipman gets across the 15 to the 17, and Costa has gotten nothing done this quarter against the Nebraska defense.
One of the things that happened, Tom, was that Nebraska got a little more conservative defensively. They quit playing so much man-free coverage in which they put all that pressure on the quarterbacks. And don't forget about the blown play, the blown coverage, where Miami had a chance to go about 65 yards. Frank Costa missed the pass.
2:42 left. Haynes 4 wide. Diving catch made. Marcus Wimberly. Clock continues to run. Short of the first down, it was a gain of only 4 or 5 yards.
1 timeout remains for Miami. You are willing to give up those short passes, but you don't want to get into a prevent mode. This Nebraska defense has been pounding on this Miami offense. Don't play it any differently.
Got away and then is taken down. Terry Connealy with a sack. Timeout taken with 2 minutes left. Tom Osborne's Cornhuskers leading 24-17. And over the years, the Orange Bowl has not been kind to that man.
Timeout. Clemson wins the national championship of college football.
Tom Osborne, now just 2 minutes away from that elusive national title.
And Tom, throughout all those losses, the man has not changed one iota.
Miami led 17-7 after taking the kickoff in the third quarter and driving it all the way down the field. Since that time, the Huskers have controlled it. Keneally and Costa slow getting up. He has taken a beating tonight.
Wayne Harris, Terry Keneally, Dante Jones. We talked about the Miami defense getting tired. Now this Miami offense is getting overwhelmed. And it comes down to one last play for Tom Osborne. One play for a national championship.
4th and 19 from the Miami 9.
Deep downfield, up for grabs, intercepted. Kareem Moss. This year it's Tom Osborne, and this should do it. Batted in the air by Moss, who cradles it. And now, with Miami out of timeouts, the Cornhuskers, who held Miami this quarter with no first downs, will go on to win. It's just a matter of time now. And Tom Osborne, who so much wanted to please his dad that he took up athletics, finally has his national championship, and somewhere his dad has to be smiling. I see a lot of Tom Osborne in the words of Longfellow, who wrote, "Let us then be up and doing with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait." For 22 years he labored and waited, and now the moment is his. Let's go to John Dockery with the national champion coach, Tom Osborne.
You finally got it after a long time. Coach, you finally got it after a long time coming. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. I'm really proud of the players. Played a great game, a lot of heart.
You've come close. Coach, you've come close many times. Is it all more sweeter now?
Well, it's enjoyable. Let's put it that way.
Did you somehow feel that this was your year coming into the game like
Well,
that?
I thought in the fourth quarter we'd be the best team, and we were. That's great.
What was the difference today?
Well, I think just we were probably in good condition, maybe a little stronger physically in the fourth quarter. Miami has a great team. I got to get in.
Congratulations, Coach. A terrific victory.
Thank you.
Tommy, back to you.
Okay, John. Tom Osborne, vintage Tom Osborne, gracious in victory as he always has been in defeat. Nebraska earns a national championship with a tough win over Miami in the Orange Bowl. Final score 24-17. Bob Costas.
All right, Tom and Chris and John Dockery. And a thought here about Joe Paterno and what must be going through his mind as he watches tonight's game unfold in Pasadena. He has won national titles, of course, before with the Nittany Lions, but 3 times before he has gone through a
season undefeated and yet uncrowned as national champion. And in the absence of a playoff system, it will happen again. Even if they beat Oregon as expected tomorrow in the Rose Bowl, they'll wind up number 2 because it has finally happened for Nebraska. In another marvelous and memorable contest at the Orange Bowl, they've finally done it. 3 times now, Nebraska coach Tom Osborne has brought an unbeaten, untied, number 1 ranked team to this game. Again, his reputation for losing here ringing in his ears. Now he's trying to get the water out of his ears. He has borne all of it through the years with a dignified, self-effacing manner, and now his great coaching resume is complete. While those of us in network television aren't supposed to root, I think we can allow ourselves a chance to smile and some words of appreciation for a man who has studiously avoided self-aggrandizement in an age all too devoted to style over substance. As we leave you now, try to imagine what it must be like right now in Nebraska, where there are no major professional sports teams and no other major university within its borders. And in Lincoln now, and all across the Nebraska plains, this first national title in a generation is a wonderful way to start this new year and a wonderful and crowning moment in the career of Tom Osborne. Nebraska national champs, 24-17. Now stay tuned for your local news, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regular time. A reminder, join us tomorrow on NBC Sports for more bowl action. It starts at 1 o'clock Eastern with the Mobile Cotton Bowl, USC and Texas Tech. Then at 4:30 Eastern, the IBM OS2 Fiesta Bowl with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame against Colorado and Heisman Trophy winner Rashaan Salam. That's all tomorrow here on NBC Sports. Again, for Tom Hammond, Chris Collinsworth, John Dockery, and all the men and women who put in their efforts tonight at the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are the national champs, and for all of us at NBC Sports, so long from the Orange Bowl.